There were tense moments between former Prime Minister Tony Abbott and supporters of the Indigenous Voice to Parliament at a parliamentary committee hearing which bowed to pressure to allow Mr Abbott to appear.
On the final hearing day of the Joint Select Committee on the Indigenous Voice to Parliament, former Prime Minister Tony Abbott publicly complained that he'd been blocked from appearing. But Mr Abbott was squeezed onto the agenda at the last minute, and it turned out to be an appearance stacked with tense moments.
In 2017, when you were prepared to sweat blood to ensure constitutional recognition, we're in 2023, why change?
I still think it is important that we achieve Indigenous recognition, but this is so much more than recognition. This is about government. I don't want to change the way we're governed. I just want to acknowledge the fact that Indigenous people were here first.
You don't believe First Nations people who have different cultures should be taken into consideration when we are talking about a voice to Parliament?
I don't think anyone should have a special voice. I think everyone should have the same voice. And the voice of all of us is the National Parliament.
Voice advocate Noel Pearson used his appearance to hit back at Mr Abbott's claims that constitutional debate was being rushed.
For Prime Minister Abbott to say that this is all rushed and so on, this has been going on for, nigh on 16 years now. I'm really struggling to find any other example of a public policy issue in Australia that has taken as long as this.
And No campaigner Warren Mundine said if Australia voted yes at the upcoming referendum, he would jump on board.
If the yes campaign gets up, I will fight for it to be successful. Why? Because even though I'm a no person, this is a democracy, and people have the freedom and the rights to vote whatever way they want.
The legal implications of giving the Voice constitutional power to consult with executive government once again came under scrutiny, with a long-time supporter of the Voice urging the government to pare back the language.
And to constitutionalise it is to risk that in the future that could clog the system of government.
We really needed to be able to speak, not just to the politicians, but to the executive, and that's when we get the results that people want.
Meanwhile, at a Labor Day march in Brisbane, the Prime Minister was heckled by protesters calling for a treaty with First Nations people before a voice to Parliament.
You vote yes, you're an accomplice!
Joel Philp, Sky News, Canberra.